Oxygen 6 introduces true reusable components, giving you the ability to create reusable designs with specific editable properties. This is perfect for creating bespoke design systems and for client handoff, letting you define exactly what can be edited and what remains locked in to preserve the intended design. Here from the WordPress admin panel, if you go to Oxygen Components, you're going to find all your components. To create a new one, you can click Add Component and create a name. And once you edit a component, it's just like editing anything else in Oxygen. But let me show you the best way to create a component. Let's go ahead and edit our sample page here. And if we scroll through, we have a bunch of nice elements, many of which would make a great component for reuse across the site. But I'm going to pick this one here. So first, select the element that you'd like to turn into a component. Make sure you have the outermost wrapper of that element selected, and then right-click it in the structure panel and click Save as Component. And I'm going to call this Rounded Card and hit Save. And as you can see, it drops it in right where it was before we converted it. It just puts a component element here and automatically selects the component that we've created. Now we can actually reuse this anywhere we want, but the content is still static. To make the content be editable, we need to expose those properties. So all we need to do is click Edit Component, which will bring up our inline component editing interface. So we never need to leave the actual page we're editing. And then we can select the element with the property we want to have be editable and click the plus sign next to the property label. And if we click the drop down after the plus sign is activated, we can change this property's label. Let's go ahead and make our text editable as well. So we'll click plus next to that one, make sure it has a good label, and then we'll do this one as well. Now we have 3 properties exposed. Let's click away from our component, which will bring us back to editing our page. And if we select this component, you can see in the properties panel, we now have our title, our blurb, and our video. But we don't want to edit this one. We'll leave it at the default. I'm just going to copy this component and I'm going to paste it in down here a couple of times. Now we can go through and change these on a per instance basis. Note that I left this one original so that you can see what the default is. Now I'm going to select this instance and make a change. My new title, and then we'll type a quick blurb. This is my new blurb that only affects this instance. How does it look? And you can see our new content has already dropped in. We do need another line there, so let's go ahead and say something else to add more text. Now we can actually change the video as well, so we'll select one of the other videos on our site, and then we'll do the same thing on this component. We'll just type another title. This is another new title, and then another blurb. My second unique blurb added via editable properties with Oxygen components. And then let's swap out the video background as well. So just like that, we took a beautiful element and made it completely reusable. We can edit only the properties that we've exposed via the component interface, which means this is safe to hand off to any designer or anyone that can edit this page, and you can trust that they're going to work within the bounds of the design itself. I'm going to show you one more example. So we have this frequently asked questions element right here, and I'm going to want this on our about page. So I'm going to turn it into a component as well. So I will select this, right click, and click Save as Component, and I'll just call it FAQ and save. Now let's select the component. And if we wanted the FAQ to be the same on every page, this would work as is, but I don't. I want to be able to edit the posts that are shown in this post loop builder. If we go over here to query after selecting the post loop builder, we can actually expose the whole query as a component property. So let's go down here and give it a label of query. And then let's make the title editable as well, just in case. And we'll give that a label of title. So now that that's a component, we can save that and it's in use here. And you can see that we have the ability to edit the title and query over here, but we don't need to edit it here. I want to edit it on the about page. So let's go over to About Us. And we're just going to scroll down and find the area where I want to put it, which is right below our content here. Let's go ahead and hit Command or Control A and drop in a component. Make sure it's in that container. And then let's go ahead and select our FAQ component. And now that that's added, it looks just like it did on the other page, but we can edit the title. We can say, let us answer your questions. And then we can also alter the query. So if I hit custom, I'll get the ability to edit the entire query. We can show a different post type if we want, a different amount of posts. For instance, I can choose our FAQ post type, which is what we're using on the original component. And then we can change the post per page to something like 2 instead of the original amount. If we apply that, we're going to see 2 FAQs. And these are displayed in an accordion just using the accordion layout option for the post loop builder. Let's go ahead and edit our query and bump that up to 6 and apply the query. We could also, if we had FAQs that were categorized differently, say we have some that we want to show specifically on the About page, we could use a meta query or a condition to filter those down to just the FAQs that we want to show in this context. And that would impact only this instance of the component. So as you can see, Oxygen's components feature is incredibly powerful and allows you to build reusable designs and layouts with editable properties on a per instance basis. This can be great if you're handing off the design to a designer at the company you sold the site to, and you want to give them some guardrails to prevent them from going completely off the tracks when they're working with the components that you prepared, or if you just want to build your own design system to make your own builds faster.